Hello, this is Todd Shank from Premier FPL. So I'm going to be doing my Game Week 8 FPL tips today. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to go through my top 7 picks for this week and go down through a couple of different things, starting out with top differential, followed by some bargain buys, a -4 hit to bring in, a must-have, drop, the team to avoid, and my captain's pick for this week. So starting out, I do have my fixture difficulty ranking. I did tweak it a little bit just based on some recent form, etc. So just wanted to start out with this. This is where I do try to look at this for some of my information. Alright, so starting out, my differential pick for this week is Gylfi Sigurdsson. As you can see here, he's put in some solid performances ever since week 1, where picked up just the 1 point. Since then, he's done much better. As you can see, last week had the 2 goals and the clean sheet. Not that that will happen again, but still, he's trending in the right direction with his form at 7.7. The main thing to look at here, I know he has a fairly high price tag, but the main thing to look at is the 2% ownership. So that's why he's my pick for differential for this week. And as you can see, looking ahead, decent fixtures. I would say that even against Manchester United, it might be away, but United are in a bit of shambles lately, so I think I would trust having him in there even against Manchester United for that match. As you can see, picked up the 2 points against Arsenal even, so I know you want to shoot for more than just the 2 points, but even against some of these other teams, he is picking up solid points. So yeah, he's my differential pick for this week. Moving on to my bargain buys. What I'm looking for here is a player in each position other than goalkeeper. So starting out for defender, I have Shane Duffy for Brighton. He is currently 27 points. He's at 4.5 for his price tag here. I feel like that's a really good price point. Last week they did play City, so he picked up 0 points. But Brighton here, as you can see, they're up here near the top. They have 2 good home matches. Now, the difficult part is that West Ham have been trending in an upward trajectory. Wolverhampton, same thing. But Newcastle here, that's a good one to target as far as picking up points. But I'm expecting Brighton to to buckle down a little bit. Now, like I said, he is more of a bargain buy. If you did want to go with a Wolverhampton player, that would be fine too. But 3.5% ownership was the other thing that I was looking at, compared to Doherty, who has 5.4% ownership. I mean, it's one of those difficult choices. I wanted to go with something a little bit different. Duffy is a proven scorer, FPL scorer. Put in decent points last season, 100 points on the season last year, as you can see right here. So he has a solid player when it comes to picking up points in fantasy. So moving on, midfield. Skipping ahead there, but for midfield, I'm going with João Moutinho for Wolverhampton. He is one that has really been picking up solid points. A lot of people have gone with Neves. Drawing a blank on their other midfielder, but I feel like Moutinho is one. He definitely has a goal in him. As you can see here, he has a goal already. He has an assist, so he has that in his repertoire there. 3.4% ownership is really nice too. 5.5 price tag is great for that midfield. And as you see, Wolverhampton play Crystal Palace. Now, if I had to rank this again, I think I might actually move Wolverhampton up on the charts a little bit more. Now, a lot of what I do is I do look at the Fantasy Premier League's own algorithm in terms of picking, gray or green or red matches. It's primarily due to time. If I had more time to devote to it, I would probably rank them, give it my own ranking, but I don't really have the time to go through all of these matches, so I just rely on what they have as part of their algorithm set up. But anyway, so Wolverhampton, Crystal Palace away. Crystal Palace, I think that's a good match for Wolverhampton. Watford is going to be a little bit tougher, but they are at home. Wolverhampton's a good attacking side, and then Brighton away. So, yeah, Moutinho is definitely one that I would say to target for midfield if you're looking for good value, low ownership, so also a good differential in that way. Then jumping back here for my forward is Andre Gray. Very similar. Stats are trending upward here. 3 goals already on the season. Watford play Bournemouth at home, Wolverhampton away, Huddersfield at home. Great string of matches coming up. So he's one that I would say to definitely target. His 6.0 price tag is really nice for that forward position. 1.4% ownership also makes him an excellent differential. So not only are these great bargain buys, but they're also good differentials, with every one of them being under that 4% ownership. I think 3.5% was the highest one there. All right, so my -4 hit to bring in, if you really want to capitalize on that -4, you need to have somebody who you really think is going to score, and basically bringing them in 2 positions. So the 2 that I would say are actually going to be Harry Kane as well as Eden Hazard. Harry Kane is starting to turn around. Now, the issue that I have with Kane is that he definitely seems to be a streaky one. And you can even see that in his points. He's, solid, but for a forward, I want somebody who's going to be getting me more than 2 points every couple of weeks. So this 9-point, 13-point here, 5 goals puts him up there with the league leaders so far. 1 assist. He is looking good, but he did play midweek. Kind of got smashed by Barcelona. But they do have Cardiff coming up and then West Ham away. I think that's a very difficult match. Man City at home is also going to be another difficult match. Not saying he can't score, but I would say for this week, Harry Kane is definitely one to look at. Sorry, just fidgeting around there. So Harry Kane is definitely one to look at for this week because of that Cardiff match. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable enough for myself to want to bring him in, but he is a player that can be streaky, and with his recent form, 3 goals in 2 matches, you never know. He could go from that 1 goal to 2 goals, score the hat trick this next week, make it all worthwhile. The other one that I would say, and I'm actually going to jump right ahead to my must-have, is Eden Hazard. I feel like he is the must-have right now. He is playing further forward in Sarri's new setup, starting to score goals. Basically scored all 6 of his goals in their last 5 matches. So I know one of them is a hat trick. Not expecting him to score a hat trick every match, but he's getting up there, getting in position to score goals, and I really think that he's going to be somebody that's going to come good. 42.4% ownership is starting to get, he's in that range where you're going to start to miss out if you're not bringing him into your team. Now, thinking about my own team, my plan for this week was to drop Salah for Hazard, and I am going to go ahead and do that. I wish I had done it last week. I had thought about it, but I ended up bringing in Fraser instead. who got me 1 point. It was not a good week for me. Really wish I would have just made that swap Hazard for Salah and done Fraser this week, but I second guessed myself, decided to go with Fraser, and then I'll move Hazard in this week. Southampton away, followed by United at home, which I still am favoring Hazard in that match. And then they have a really good string of matches here. I'm even favoring Chelsea over Spurs here. The only difficult match coming up is that City match, but otherwise, I feel like Eden Hazard is that must-have player, the guy that you really want to go with and hold on to for the rest of the season. Really, the only difficult matches I see them having are against City this season. They look like a much better, much more attacking team this season. Targeting Chelsea players, I think, would be a great idea, especially now with a lot of these Liverpool players kind of going downhill. The team to avoid, quite honestly, I feel like you could just look at the bottom half of this table and throw a dart at just about any one of them. But the bottom three here are the ones that I would say to avoid primarily. Now, Huddersfield, I would say, is at the bottom of the pile. Minus 13 goal difference, only scoring 3 goals, allowing 16 goals this season. They're not scoring fantasy points is the bigger issue. So looking here, their top point scorer is Billing. And at that 4.5, I know that's a really nice price point for a midfielder, but there's also Højbjerg for Southampton if you really want to go with that cheap price point there. And I don't have Højbjerg pulled up, but the main thing to look at here is Billing. Most of his points are coming from this 9-pointer where he scored a goal. Since then, he is not scoring goals, as that's even coming against Crystal Palace at home. Now, I know they've had tough fixtures recently, but they've only scored 3 goals this season, and it's not looking any better for them. Burnley away is going to be difficult. Liverpool at home is going to be very difficult. Watford away also going to be extremely difficult. So Huddersfield is a team that I am saying definitely avoid at all costs. Even their lower price players aren't really worth having in your team because there are other better players that are at a lower price point even that you could go with. Some of the guys from Wolverhampton at 4.4 would be a better pick. So comparing them even to Cardiff, where Etheridge has done very well. Not a bad backup goalkeeper to have in there. But, I mean, for these coming weeks, Cardiff has slightly better schedule. Maybe not slightly better, but they have Fulham at home, so that's kind of favorable for them. But overall, Huddersfield, Cardiff, I would say definitely avoid them. Huddersfield more than Cardiff even. All right, so that brings me to my captain's pick for this week. It's basically between Harry Kane and Eden Hazard. So Harry Kane has Cardiff at home, while Hazard has Southampton away. My personal view is I believe that I am going to go with Hazard for my captain, but that's mainly because I'm not going to have Kane in I'm not planning to bring Kane in my team. I'm looking to bring Hazard in for Salah, then captain him. I would say if you have both of them in your team, go with Kane. They have Cardiff at home. Kane has done very well for himself recently. Sorry, I should have pulled my the shots. I believe he's definitely up there in the top for shots and shots on target as well. So he's definitely getting the chances, and I think against this this Cardiff defense that has allowed 16 goals this season, I would not be at all surprised to see him get a hat-trick. The other thing thinking about it is it kind of has me rethinking what I'm going to do this week, which is, I guess that's where I will end actually. Last couple of game weeks have really, my team's kind of fallen off. Wheels have kind of fallen off with this one. Yeah, so as you can see, a lot of ones in there. Fraser, Mane, Halabas, all with ones. Salah, Pereira, 2 points. Robertson and Alonso, 2 points. So they're really holding me back. I need these to be turned into threes at the very least, and some of these guys to be turned into more like 5s and 6s to really keep pushing ahead. Yeah, I only scored 49 points, under the average, well under target in that 60 to 70 range that I would like to average. So again, it has me debating the wild card, but then I've already gone this far. I might as well wait till after the international break. That was my plan anyway, so I'm just going to stick with my plan, which does kind of have me thinking in terms of, I could bring in Kane for Aguero, or I could bring in Hazard for Salah. I believe those are my only two moves that I'm considering doing. The other part of that is going back to my -4 hit to bring in. I could take that -4, bring in both Hazard and Salah. And talking about it now, it really has me thinking that might be the way to go. I had initially planned to go the full season without taking a -4, but at this point, I'm dropping more points than I would like to, dropping in rank quite a bit. I've seen red arrows, I think 3-4 weeks in a row now. Not really a great place to be. So anyway, I think that kind of wraps it up. Would really love to have you subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. I'll try to respond as I can during the day. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your bargain buy is, what your differential is for the week. But yeah, send a like. The biggest thing is getting those subscribers. That really helps out the channel. All right, well, I guess that's it. And as always, wish you good luck and have fun.